Hey, Blacksit family.
No idea yet.
It doesn't matter. We're still recording.
Okay.
So, hi, Blacksit family. Basically, we've just gone to do a really, really quick live. You didn't get the thing I asked you to bring.
The light?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please. Blessed love family. So, today has been, I woke up this morning. And there were some birds on my window, but they knocked my window actually, and they were making a whole heap of noise, singing sweet songs. So yeah, good afternoon to Indigenous supporter. Good evening to Kay and Pat. Good evening to Royal General, and also good evening to Queenie Irie. Blessed love, Blacksit family. So just waiting for Adrian to join us. But we wasn't really going to do a live today, but I had to. I couldn't let the day pass. Hi, M. Palmer. Glad you're here. If you want to join, can you post the link in for me, please, so people can join? Yeah. If you want to join, we're going to put the link down below so that you can get the information. So it's actually on our page on YouTube as well. I'll put it in the community page if you want to find it on our YouTube channel. So what we're going to do is to discuss the subject of reparations, and we're putting the actual address in so that you can join us if you want to. So we're going to copy it in. Thank you. So we're going to copy it in so that you can join. So Seth's just putting the actual link for you down in the comments below. So Blacksit family, how are you? How are you? Today's been a very interesting day. I don't know if you all have been following what's been going on, but I woke up this morning and I did put it in the community page. I just want to show you. Where is it gone? Let me show you what's going on. So basically in the news today, here we go, Bank of England and the...
Tell them what to Google.
I want you to Google the Bank of England
and the Church of England.
And the Church of England apologise for slavery. Yeah, I want you to do it as I'm doing it so we do it together, okay? So the Bank of England, yeah, and the Church of England, yeah, apologise for slavery. For their role. Let me read it. I want to read it to you so that I get it accurate, okay? Okay, so so the BBC have now just put up another post which has said, not enough to say sorry for slavery. So I'll start with that one and then we'll go back, yeah? Now, I'm not a huge supporter of the BBC. I'm just doing it because I'm just sharing the media coverage, okay? So they basically said, not enough. Whoops, I hope you can see. Let's have a look. So it's not enough to say sorry for slavery. So companies that have benefited, I'm just going to read to you verbatim. Yeah, so you get the information. Oh, take off that. You're supposed to be doing the thing, Seth. Well, don't put your face in the camera. Just do it there. Pull your face back. Look at the camera. Yeah. Yeah. So move the... No swearing.
I'm sorry. Can you please not swear in the comment section? Yeah.
Seth, move your head back from the camera as you're doing the moderating. Yeah. It's easier to do it. You don't have to look there to do it. You can see it from here. Okay, so I was just saying, sorry, don't swear because I'm seeing it. Seth's supposed to be doing the moderating. Seth, you have to pin back because it's not a good look. Really? No, I'm just re-angling it so he can do the moderation from there.
No, it's okay. It's cool. He's not going in the camera. It's fine.
Look.
Yeah, but I can see you. They can see you.
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, it doesn't look good. I'm just trying to angle it so it looks good. Where's the mouse? It's the mouse he needs.
We're only on you.
No, it should be on us. That's what I'm saying, because we're going to be talking. He's doing moderating for us today. So, right. Companies that benefited. Where's the mouse, Seth?
The
mouse is there. It's right here. I'll touch it. Sorry, we're just setting up as well as we're talking to you. So, right. So, companies that benefited from slavery must go further than just apologizing. The chairman of the Caribbean Reparations Commission has said, many British and European firms and their predecessors drank from the well of the Caribbean slavery, said Professor Hilary Beckles in a Reuters interview. The comments came as several financial institutions apologized for their historical links to the slave trade. So, Seth!
Just go online.
Sorry.
Just go. Forget what's on screen.
Yeah, no, we'll just put swearing up on the screen.
No, it's okay, taking it down.
Yeah. So the comment came as several financial institutions apologized for their historical links to the slave trade. The word links, I want to talk about that in a second. But anyway, he called on British firms to fund development projects in the Caribbean. Don't forget Africa. And don't forget that, you know, Africa suffered. We're in Africa. We've left the Caribbean, which is another plantation, and we've come to Africa. But anyway, we'll discuss this. Unfortunately, one cannot go back and remake the history. You cannot make atonement. It is not enough to make an apology as a public spectacle. It is not enough to present it as a public relations exercise, which many of us think it is, but we'll get into this discussion, okay? I need you all here with me now, and I want you to join the discussion. So Seth has put the link for you to come live with us in the room. Can you post it again, please, Seth? Yeah, this is not a one-way discussion. I want to hear your perspectives, but no swearing, please, and just pure respect, yeah? And only positive vibes, that's what we deal with. So the historian added that British institutions should sit down with Caribbean nations. I don't like the way this is just Caribbean. So Africa, we need to stand up to fund development projects. Yeah. Alternatively, they could consider a type of Marshall Plan, a reference to the government aid given to Europe after World War II. The Bank of England and Church of England have apologized for the role that some of their senior figures played in the slave trade. Now, is that senior figures or is that the bank itself? Yeah?
That's good.
Okay, the Daily Telegraph, which first reported the news, said the church has called its links a source of shame. Shame on you. So the bank said it would ensure that images of former governors who were involved in the slave trade are not displayed in its buildings. So is this a PR exercise of just pulling down some pictures? Is it like, oh, we're so sorry we were linked to slavery. Do you forgive us? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Is that enough? Is that good enough? Okay. Now also there's also a pub chain. Can you move? Right? There's also pub chains that are also linked as well. So pressure has been growing on companies and around the world to address links to slavery and to tackle racial equality. Now, everyone knows what I feel, yeah? The only way to eradicate racism is to leave it behind and go live with your own kind. That's my saying, and I stand by it, yeah? So it says pressure has been growing on companies around the world to address the links to slavery and to tackle racial inequality following the death of George Floyd in the US last month while in police custody. Oh, I didn't know it was police custody. I thought it was just under someone's knee. But anyway, right? I thought it was under a police officer's knee. That's what I thought. It was in public for everybody to see. Anyway, racism, the ideology used to justify slavery, is a legacy that still shapes the life chances for people of African and Caribbean heritage in the UK, said Dr. Katie Donegan, who is, Donington, let me get it right, a senior lecturer of history in London and South Bank University. It is an important step that firms with historical links, why is everyone saying links? Why don't you just say the responsible? But anyway, I don't like all this link business. You understand? It's either you did it or you didn't do it. You did it. So now I'm talking about no link. Yeah? Anyway, it is an important step. I should be able to just read this, right? Which I think it's getting vexed. Right? It's an important step that firms with historical links to transatlantic slavery are now beginning the process of acknowledging their past. Acknowledgement, I'm one of my wants. Do you not see it? It's my resources back. That's what I want. Yeah? Anyway, I want to bring some people into this link. So I'm going to let Adrian kind of take over. I'm going to bring everybody in and we're going to start talking about this, fam. Yeah? So I wasn't even planning to go live today. I was supposed to be on Woden Maya's show. But Woden Maya is not going live tonight. So, you know, my brother, I love my brother, and I'm not sure. But anyway, hopefully I'll jump on his show tomorrow because we need to discuss this. All vloggers should be discussing this tonight. All vloggers should be talking about this tomorrow. All vloggers should be talking about this every day. Every day of the year, we should be discussing this. We ain't going to let them off lightly. You apologizing? I don't want an apology. Apology ain't going to help me. How's an apology going to help me? So, it says that in 2006, the church voted to apologize to the descendants of the victims of the slave trade. But them don't make them money. But anyway, they don't make plenty money. Anyway, its missionary arm, I'm going to make it again. The missionary arm, the Society for the Propagation of the Christian Religion in Foreign Parts, SPG for short, yeah, inherited 3 sugar estates in the Caribbean. The plantation was run for the church by professional planters. Can you imagine? Professional planters. Killers them be. But anyway, sorry, got out of tone there, sorry. Anyway, and but its profits went to the missionary group. Yeah, they now call missionaries, we used to call them slave owners. But anyway, slaves, I'm reading, so I wouldn't say that word, I would say the enslaved, but I'm just reading, yeah. Slaves working on the estate, not forcibly forced to work for free under whip, yeah? Not killed, work from day till night, living in the worst and most inhumane conditions known to man. But anyway, I digress, sorry. Working on the estate were branded on their chests with the word society. You hear that? They burn us up. They burn us up with iron that they took out the hot fire and on your chest. The PN, you ever burn yourself with the iron, much less a branding. Little hot water touch me finger, me a burn up, much less someone to get. Society. That's what they burned on us, on our ancestors. They branded us like animals. Sorry, let me get back, sorry. We're gonna get to it. Everyone gonna jump in. We're gonna get to it, sorry. Okay? I get hot. I'm sorry. Let me stay on the narrative. Let me stay on the narrative. You have to get hot. No, I wear me fun. Woo, just like heat me up. Woo. So, and now The Telegraph has reported that nearly 100 clergymen also benefited individually from slavery. While we recognize, I'm going to speak in their voice for you so you understand, you know, the white political narrative that we have going on right here, is that while we recognize the leading role clergy and active members of the Church of England played in securing the abolition of slavery, because we must always state that we actually caused the problem, but you mustn't remember that. What you've got to remember is that we try to contribute to the ending of it. That's the most important part. Forget the fact that we enslaved hundreds of millions of people for over 400 years. That's not important. What you have to remember is that we played a hand in trying to end our mistake that we started. That wasn't a mistake, it was on purpose because we enslaved you. But anyway, back to what we were saying, because they always like to mention that. So imagine you go in a man's house and you teeth out all these things. And then because you go back and you say, oh, you know what? I'm sorry I stole your stuff. That means that it was all right to steal your stuff. I want my stuff back. I want my stuff back. So anyway, when slavery was abolished in 1833, the English government raised huge amounts for compensation. We were paying that back till 2015 in our taxes. 2015, us, black people in England, were still paying compensation to slave owners in 2015. And I'm going to reference something that I saw. This man called Nick Ferrari from LBC. I'm going to bring someone in today called Kel, yeah, who actually was on LBC. And I'm going to bring him in because he got something to share with you. And he's also launching some petitions, and they're very, very important. So this man who was on LBC was basically saying to a beautiful black queen, what is she doing here in England? When she challenged what was going on, he asked her, what is she doing here? The question is, what are they doing there? Why do they allow these racist bigots to continue to be in the media? Because it's part of their agenda. But anyway, let me finish reading. So basically, the slave owners were compensated for their loss of human property. You hear the word property. I just want to emphasize this because when we're going to talk, fam, we're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk property. Okay. So unacceptable part of history. It was just unacceptable. It's just totally unacceptable. You know, oh my goodness, it's totally unacceptable. A database compiled by the University College London shows that at least 11 former bank governors and 16 early directors either benefited from those payments or had links to the slave trade. Basically, I'm sorry, but the white race has got a lot to answer for.
There's nothing to be sorry about, sis.
Oh, there's nothing to be sorry for. You're right. Yeah, I'm not sorry. They have to be sorry. And sorry is not enough. That's what I'm saying. An apology is not enough. Sorry. You think you're gonna rob me house and tell me sorry? Me want me thing back.
Oh,
anyway.
a better equivalent.
Listen, I'm not even going there. Yeah. So there can be no doubt that the 18th and 19th century slave trade was an unacceptable part of English history. A bank spokeswoman said. Yeah. An unacceptable part of history. Where they get these horrible little tainted stupid ass words, I don't know. Unacceptable. Anyway, we'll move on. I want to get to it. And it says, as an institution, the Bank of England has never itself directly involved in the slave trade. Let me read that to you again. As an institution, let me tell you about lies, you know, it's bad to lie, you know. It's a bad thing, you have to do that. So now, here comes the recoil, yeah? This is what we call the plausible deniability clause. As an institution, the Bank of England was never itself directly involved in the slave trade, but it's aware of some inexcusable connections involving former governors and directors and apologizes for them. So wait, so me I work for your firm, right? Me I work for your firm, you know, I'm just some bad things when me at work. They're saying that, so while I was working for you and you instructed me to go and do them bad things, that you're now not responsible, and you made me do it. And you made me do it. They couldn't do it on their own. Who they have backing from? Who you think paid for the ships? You think they made money? No, it's the bank backed it. That's when I like them, you know. I mean, I like them, you know. I mean, I like them, you know. Can't take it. They want them talk with two tongues. Anyway, sorry, let me just finish. And they apologized. They apologized for them. So she said that the bank had started a thorough review. A thorough review. Now, I want to bring in, oh gosh, I wish I could bring in Dr. Dorian Wilson on this. I'm going to do another live about this because there's some heavy people that I've got to talk about this, and I want to bring them in. It was a little bit late for the live, and I don't want to call them in England and say, hello, I know it's after midnight, but can you join me on the live? So I will ask Dr. Dorian Wilson to talk about this because she started the ball rolling. She's a sister, she's black, she's a senior lecturer in the UK, and she started the ball rolling in the Bank of England about their images. So don't let them tell you that they done it themselves. It was a black sister that done it. All right? Just let me make that clear. She's my brethren still. Yeah, that's how we roll. Anyway, she said they have started a thorough review of its image collection to ensure pictures of anyone involved in the slave trade remained on display. Yeah? So there's no more images of anyone involved in the slave trade. So what's that saying? Well, we don't want you to really know. So if you take it off the wall, then you won't actually be aware of the people that were involved. And of course, it look, what do they call it? Politically correct. So pressure's been going on companies around the world to address links to slavery. I don't like this word links, you know, because you're directly involved, you liar. Anyway, and racial inequality following the death of George Floyd last month while in police custody. Now, video showed Mr. Floyd, who was unarmed in handcuffs, dying while a white policeman knelt on his neck for nearly 9 minutes. And on Wednesday, the pub chain Green King and insurance market Lloyd's of London also apologized for their historical links to the slave trade. So one of Green King's founders owned a number of plantations in the Caribbean, while the maritime insurance business, which centered around Lloyd's, thrived on the transatlantic slave trade. Now we're done. Age, rolling, everybody coming, jumping. Let's talk. Let's talk. We're coming done, you know.
Greetings, Black Sea family. How is everyone doing? Yeah, just a quick reminder. They are watching you, watching us, watching them. I'm gonna, let me repeat it. They are watching you, watching us, watching them. Okay?
Let's jump in. Bring everybody in.
So yes.
Seth, bring everybody in. Unmute. Everybody in. Join everybody. Let's talk. No, we can talk. Everybody, we just unmute as we go along. Put everybody in.
Yeah.
And when you want to talk, do this. Yeah?
Okay.
Do this when you want to talk so that we can then, everybody got it? You do this when you want to talk. Okay? No, unmute and put everybody in. Okay. Now change the design so everybody's in.
Yeah, so thanks for everyone for joining us tonight, you know. Thanks for that. Because the more of us come together, is the stronger we're gonna be.
So Renee.
You know? We're coming like a whirlwind. As Marcus Garvey said, look back from me on the shores of Liberia. Because the spirit of Marcus Garvey wake up in all of us. Kunta Kinte, Jomo Kenyatta. You know, you just name a few powerful heroes. Heroes.
Kimbabita.
You know, fight for us to be here today. You know, look at those in the West that want to go and sell out them souls to the white man. You know, but with the strong Africans here today to make it a must. It doesn't matter how much I try to dance around the subject, and you know they can't dance anyway. Yeah? But reparation is a must. And black people, put your money together. Forget about going to Gucci. Yeah? Forget about Louis Vuitton. Yeah? Forget about all of that. put your money together and come home.
There's no
Not invest in Africa. Yeah? Come home. Because it starts now. The clock reset. Everything changed. Since this bloody, sorry, my excuse. Since this pandemic, or scamdemic, whatever you want to call it, it reset the clock. Yeah? So now change is coming. And black people wake up. Wake up out of your dream. Wake up. Come back to Africa. Come home. Come home, go be your own kind. You know? So I didn't know who first jump on the live. But is Brother Kelly on there?
I need to stream.
Brother Kelly on?
I know. That's my cousin. Sorry.
Okay. It seems like Kelly on drop off.
Alien, jump back on. Go down, go down. Kelly must be there. No, go back on. All right, let's unmute. Who's going first? Renee.
Okay, let me jump in.
Yeah.
Renee, what's new?
Yeah, thanks so much for the forum. Thanks so much for the invite, guys. So what I was trying to do earlier was share my screen because I wrote Lambeth Palace in 2012. I wrote the Archbishop of Canterbury regarding his apology for slavery. Because you see, unless you've been educating yourself for a period of time, you don't recognize that these things are they want us to forget. So generation after generation, they come up with new things. They come up with an apology. When like a flare up, them do like a nice things to try to quell away and keep we, satiated, and then we'll go back on, right? But right now, what we have to do is keep the pressure on. I started film school specifically for the purpose of making a documentary about reparations, which I'm filming in September. But what I realize is that this thing is, if we're going to talk about reparations, we have to be extremely logical. We have to be coherent about it. The conversation surrounding reparations, we can't approach it how people think we should. We as a people have been wronged, right? We Black people have been wronged. But when you look at the Caribbean relationship with the United Kingdom is different from the American relationship, so a lot of African Americans have been very upset that the Caribbean does not include reparations for African Americans. There has to be a chronological process to do this. You have to sue the Netherlands between 16 this to 17 that. You have to sue the Spaniards between 15 this to 16 that. You have to sue, because each and every one of these Western civilizations were developed on slave labor. When you when you go into a bank and you can't get a loan, let's say you're second generation and you're Black Spaniard, you can't get a loan. You're Black and you're in America, you can't get a loan to buy a house.
Exactly.
You can't get a loan even when your credit crystal clear and nice and shine. You can't get anything. So an apology is nothing, because the wealth gap continues to persist. In order to approach this reparations, we need to be logical. We need to be coherent, and we need to ask for specific things. Are we talking about zero taxes? Are we talking about credits? Are we talking about housing loans? What are we talking about when we say reparations? Because as a Garveyite, me know said this conversation has been going on before Marcus Garvey. This conversation has been going on after Marcus Garvey. But me, I gotta tell you something. So the wall away there, yes, so before the last one away there, them are gonna pay. They're gonna pay. They have to pay. They have to pay. They paid out. There's a website. There's a website, I believe it's a City University. There's a website that you can actually go and research in the UK. I'll drop it in the link somewhere, that you can go and research exactly who owned your ancestors and how much they were paid, and then you can translate that into US dollars. So I don't know if I could share a screen properly. I've never done it on this platform before, but in 2012, I wrote 6 UK lawyers to assist me with that process, right? Because one of the same people them will jump on France, pan national TV, UK, and they're descendant from the Earl of Elgin who thief this and thief that. Them they own plantation of Jamaica and them forget say them left people like me down there. You see it. There are people strutting around. We have to be extremely determined about what do we want. Do we want legislative changes that says every corporation must disclose whether or not they benefited from slavery? And apology is not enough.
Yeah.
They must disclose that. Okay?
Exactly.
That is the source of what I'm working on right now, is that research. Did they benefit? One. And two, are these people that are MPs and senators in America and whatnot sit, they have to disclose if at any point in time their ancestors owned slavery and recuse themselves from running in those races, because they come up with policies that are equal, if not worse than slavery, to implement those into supposedly a free society. So we have to be extremely intelligent and calculating about what we are saying when we say reparations, because it can be paid. It has been paid. The Tuskegee Airmen, I'm sorry, not Tuskegee Airmen, the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, that was paid out. The experiments on African American women to sterilize them, that was paid out. Slavery, I'm sorry, not slavery, but the Jews were paid. So there is a way to do it. There's a context to do it. There's a legal process to do it. What are you looking for when you say reparation? It's too much of a buzzword, and it gives them this, that will never happen, so we can just apologize and move on. As you said earlier, Jules, without restorative justice, it's just air talk. It means nothing. You're coming to my house, come take me things, yeah, I'll forgive me about something. That is the basis of the Magna Carta that every constitution is built on, is that each of us have the right to reprisal when we are wrong. And we were wrong. We have to define that individually, not just necessarily individually, but as in each of these small places that we live in, whether you live in Germany, the UK, or the United States, or a state that you live in, what does that mean to you? Because you cannot approach this thing collectively. It was too splintered, so you have to attack it in the exact form that it existed in splinter laws, in maritime law, in insurance law, in every single, in whatever country those laws came from, whatever flag those were flown under. You have to attack it in a very granular level. This one, give me my money, make me go on, it not gonna work, because Jamaica I come from, and it hasn't worked. So we have to look at it. That's my approach to it. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you. I put a timer on so everybody has a few minutes to speak, so that we can bring people in and out of the stream. So no, that was an amazing contribution, and I think what you hit and what I appreciate is the fact that you said we have to have a strategic approach. You mentioned the fact that we shouldn't pay taxes. First thing, we should get a refund of our taxes up until 2015, because we were paying compensation to slave owners up until 2015, which is wholly wrong, unethical, and should be returned. Secondly, in terms of us having a tax break, well, exactly, why not? The indigenous Indians, they did it to them. They've done it to so many other groups. They did it to Jews. Why not us? Thirdly, I think there has to be talk of not just financial compensation, but also the return of our resources and our artifacts, and also control of our resources. So I agree, there has to be a strategic approach. But what I find is that I had this very hands-off apology, we have links. I'm sorry, but it was him. It wasn't me. And we're not responsible. And so no, they need to be accountable.
Okay, man.
That needs to be. So sis, I'm going to drop you off to bring someone else in. Yeah.
All right.
But if I get a chance, I will bring you back in.
Yes, ma'am. I'll stay.
Share everybody about your channel. And before you go, share with people about your channel. and about
Okay.
your film
Okay,
project
so
you're doing.
what I'm working on now is I'm a filmmaker and a web developer. I'm working on an app now for the Exodus. That is almost deployed, and you can find me on what's it called, on Facebook, a Facebook group called African Exodus After Rona. Yeah. And the film I'm currently
Put it
working
in the
on.
comments. Put it on the screen.
Yeah, sorry.
Put it
I'll
in the
put it in the
comments.
comments. Yeah, all right. Peace and love, y'all.
You're not even
Okay,
I
cool.
told you
Somebody else can come in.
So yeah, so put it in a comment and I'll put it on the screen. Thank you, sis. Okay, can you go to the next person, please, sir? Okay. You got to be quick. Okay, so next up, brother, how you doing?
Hello, hi.
Sam? It's Sam. It's Sam.
Yes.
He was here. Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Just let me mute this thing. Can you hear me?
Sam's a great designer. in fact,
I'm trying.
Can I mention or not?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the new black logo that we're now changing across everything was actually created by Sam. I'm not diversion off the subject, but I just want to say thank you to Sam publicly and to give him credit for his amazing work. He is phenomenal. And Sam also is a brother, a Gambian brother. You know, he's in the diaspora right now. So I just want to say thank you to Sam. He's been doing so much work for Blacks out of his heart. So I just want to commend him and thank him, you know, for your work. I appreciate you so much. You don't even know. Yeah, more than you know. So I'm going to get back to the subject. And I got a little news flash for you. Now, Lloyds of London have agreed to pay reparations. Give me my money, give me my money, give me my money, give me my money. So, brother, where we at? Come on now. Apology or cash?
Well, you see, it's actually quite difficult because I think if we're going to go down this route where they're going to pay us some compensation, not only people from the Caribbean, people from the United States, but also people from the Gambia as well. They've caused so much damage in, you know, to our society, to people from in Africa at the moment. Because one of the things which I'm quite shocked about, because when I came here back in the late 80s, I never knew nothing about slavery. I never knew nothing about slavery. I never knew nothing about racism. So I actually get to learn everything when I came here. And then I actually get to realize that there's division among Black people. Like you go to Caribbeans and the Black British, they don't want to get mixed with Africans, etc. So it was a struggle. But I mean, things have moved on quite a lot, really and truly. So I don't want to talk too much about reparation because I need to know more about that, how that's going to be executed, because it has to be executed in an effective way. And but what I want to talk about is the fact that how we have actually moved on. And I think that if we're united, because as someone said before, if you take an African elephant, I take that elephant to America, centuries past, it's still called an African elephant, right? So when Black people get to understand that no matter wherever you're born, you're African, right? Then that can be a start, a unity. Because if you look right now, we're all divided. We're all divided somehow. Now, I know we cannot all agree on one, you know, on one thing. Everybody have their own opinions. Everybody have their own mindsets. I understand that. But we need to come together and see ourselves as one people. And that's the only way we can walk forward. And that's the reason why I actually came on board to back what you're doing, because you recognize yourself as an African, right? It's like I've got two boys who were born here. And I say to them, look, you're African, full stop. So I'm bringing them up with that understanding. And that doesn't only mean that I need to teach them their African roots, but also to bring them over to Africa for them to actually learn. And very soon, hopefully, I'll be joining you there, you know, to come over for good, because I've been here already for over 31 years. And it's actually doing my head in at the moment. But what I actually experienced in this country is that you know, the institutional racism. Because when I started as a designer, about 25 years ago, over 25 years ago, because I have English names. Now, I was not allowed, when I was growing up in the Gambia, to use my African name in schools, right? So I'm called Samuel Jonathan Okiki Taylor. I was only known as Samuel Jonathan Taylor. So I was not allowed to be called Okiki, right? So coming over here, I have to use my English names. And then when I actually go for jobs, what would happen is that they're expecting a white person. And when they see me, they're shocked. And then when I open my mouth, everything comes to a standstill. But when I get a job done, they're very happy, right? And they're excited. They say they're going to call me back. Nothing ever happens. So for me, what I think we have to actually do first, before any reparations, we have to come together, right? When we come together, then we can talk in one voice, because that's what they're doing to Africa now. Africa is divided. If Africa was getting loans from the World Bank as a whole unit, they will have a better rate and they will actually be of a less risk. But what they've done, they've divided us all, whereby each African country has to actually approach the bank individually. And right now, like I said, we have to come together. So that's all I want to say. I want to listen more, because I only just actually got a video which I was watching about the debt that the government was paying to those slave owners. I only just learned about it just tonight. So I need to know more about it before I can talk more about it. But I just want to hear what you guys have to say. But that's all I want to say for now. There's lots more to talk about in the future.
Thank you.
That's all I want to say. Yeah.
You were breaking up a bit, Sam. So it was a little bit hard.
Right.
I'm hoping that maybe we can bring you back in a little bit later when you have a bit of a better signal. It might be the internet. I don't know. That's unstable my end or your end. I don't know. I can hear you well now, though. That's strange, isn't it?
Okay.
Maybe someone don't want you to speak. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. We'll bring you back. Yeah. So let's move on. But Sam, let me just talk to you about your contribution. I think you're right. I mean, unity is key. But I'm a realist. I know that it's not going to happen in the way in which you want to happen. Yeah. One thing we can do, we can move as one, even if we're divided. You don't have to have the same mindset, the same ideals. Yeah. You don't have to agree on everything.
Yeah.
However, you can still move as one.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
But
don't talk to me. Talk to
you're right for this, because
talk to the camera.
If we got in front of our enemies, appear to be each other.
So yes, we have to appear to be unified, regardless. Yeah. So anyway, but Sam, thank you for your contribution. I agree with you. And there's work to be done in how it works. I worked on the reparations March 2016, and I've been a big advocate of reparations for a long time, and done a lot of work in this area. So I'm hoping that now we can make it manifest and ensure that we can actually set up a fund to receive those funds and distribute them before they're dissipated and no one actually sees the benefit of them. So let's see what we can do to create our own diaspora bank to receive those funds.
Yeah.
So thanks, Sam, and we'll move on to the next person, please, Seth. So let me. Okay, so I mean that was thought-provoking from Sam, and I want to and then kick him out. Yeah. So someone else can come in. Yeah, that's it. So basically, what I want to do is get more rapid on the conversation now. So I'm going to ask you, Pilot. So Pilot, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How you doing, bro?
Can you hear me? I'm doing great.
Okay, what's your thoughts? What are you saying? Apology enough? Is an apology enough?
No ways, Juliet and the Blackset family. As Africans, we have sold our time and our experience and our education and our work to develop the foreign countries. And I think there's a move now all over the world and awareness going about. And I just want to thank you for what you're doing. I really support everything you're doing. Your work is is amazing. I'm telling you. You're the CNN for Africa. Everybody in Africa has to come together, has to unite, and they've got to come back home. All those who are overseas, who are working in foreign countries, unfortunately, yes, you might have gone there for a greener pasture, but the time has come for you to come back and invest back in home. Come back and buy land, come back and invest in your continent. The UKs and all these countries took our gold, they took our diamonds. The Queen and all of them are sitting there with our jewels all the way from Africa here. There's definitely, we're talking about our money. Of course, we need our money back. There's no apologies at all. Apologies have done nothing. No war or nothing has been fought through apologies. So I just wanted to say that it's time for us to think of coming back home, no matter how long you've been living overseas or what work you've been doing there. You've got, I'm an airline pilot. I'm based here in South Africa. I hosted Wodemaya when he was here in South Africa. He stayed at my home. I told Wodemaya that I'm so happy for what you did with Juliet, and our work is amazing. You guys are like, you have no idea. You're touching so many people here, and you're getting people thinking. You're getting people to come to an awareness now that it's time for us to unite. It's time for us to let our voices be heard. Yes, we need a think tank. We need something more solid later on that can actually lobby with African governments and international organizations. I believe we've got all the expertise, we've got all the lawyers, we've got all the educated people amongst us. It's a matter of grouping us together and working with you and somebody with your leadership skills and your husband and everybody there that's really doing a lot. I just want to say I'm really, really happy with the work you're doing. My contribution is that it doesn't matter where I go through with my work. I've seen what's the racism. I've seen how our African people are suffering and how they never fit in to any of the countries that they say they live in. They've been living there for years. They even own homes, they own properties. But I'm telling you, they live in isolation. I travel on work, and some of the places I stay at friends, I will go and stay at friends' houses instead of staying in a hotel, and they'll tell me, oh, we don't even know our neighbors. Yet they've been living in the US for years. They've bought beautiful homes. And I told them, why are you wasting your skills? Why are you wasting all your talent here to improve a country that's spitting on your face? That right now in America, they're killing Black Africans, are being killed worldwide. It's terrible what's going on. And I just want to say that I'm so happy with all of you guys and what you're doing. You have no idea how happy I feel. Even when Wodemaya was here, you have my support. You have my full support. If you need anybody to fly anybody down from overseas, I'm available. I'll do it myself from my own pocket, because I'm tired of seeing my fellow. I'm tired of seeing my fellow friends and Africans down that side being victimized, being made to live a substandard life when they'll be welcomed back here in Africa. They'll be loved back here in Africa. They won't face the magnitude of racism that's being faced that side, discrimination, you name it, all the titles. That's what's happening that side. And we need this forum. Continue, Juliet. Thank you. I'm going to step up now, but please continue what you're doing. I'm really, really happy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And Pilot, you're going to have lots of flights, yeah? You're going to be the Black Star liner.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready.
And thank you for welcoming us home, because, I tell you what we need. We need more of our brothers and sisters on the continent to speak to your leaders and to make sure that they, welcome us home, okay? That's so important. That's a job for you all to help us with. We've got to work together on this. And I'm not joking, I'm serious. When we come home, we need a loving reception. not just from our local people, but also from our governments. Because when we come home, we're a part of you, and you are a part of us. Yeah?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so it's so important. But listen, I'm going to jump to the next person now. Thank you for your contribution. You know, I'm big love to you and congratulations. I'm going to hit you up on that pilot, but you better make sure you call me. Remember, +220 240 5273.
I've written it down.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to Maxine and then I'm going to go to Nathan because Maxine's been waiting a while and she came off. Now she's back. So Maxine, I heard about this woman named Maxine. Her kiss is like a bunch of good. Sorry. Anyway. And then I tell you about Maxine. You know what I know, but. So you got married to them or you want a reparation? I'm joking. Maxine, can you hear me? Let's unmute Maxine so we can hear her. So Maxine, apology I want a reparation. Which one? You choose.
I want money. But no, apology means nothing. They do stuff and apologize and go back behind door and do it again. So I don't want to hear it. I just want to feel it. I want the money. No apologies. Okay, my main reason for listening also is I would like to talk to you because I'm ready. Are you hearing me?
I
Hello?
can hear you. You're breaking up a
Yeah.
bit.
Yes, I am ready to come. I need your help in getting land and stuff for me and my daughter and my sister, 3 of us. So that's why I'm been trying to catch you, try every way to catch you, but this is how I get you. So I'm listening, but my main thing is to get out of here. That's it. I'm fed up. I'm tired. Can't do it anymore. I have 2 grandsons. My eldest is 16. He is 6'3" and black. That's their great enemy. So I want to get him out of here ASAP. So that's my reason for listening. And I'd also like to talk to you another time. If you can give me the best time to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm going to put my number in WhatsApp there so that you can, just going to put it in for you right now so that you can contact me, okay? But,
Right.
I agree with you. Reparations time. Yeah, I don't want no apology again. So Nathan, my cousin from the UK. This is my cousin. I ain't seen him for a while, so I'm glad to see you watching Brexit, my cousin. Love you, man. What's going on? Nathan, you're up. Hang on, I can't hear you. Put your mic on. Yeah. Quick, sir. If you got to do it quick. We can't hear you, Nathan. I think he's gone to do something. Maybe he's gone to adjust the volume or something.
His end.
It's his end. Okay, so we're going to keep adding people to the stream so you can contribute. Nathan, we'll come back to you. Oh, you here? Can you hear us now?
Hello?
Okay, we'll come back to you. So we'll move on to the next person. Stay there, Nathan. We can't hear you, so here we go. Yeah, Takaya. Do something. Maybe he's going to adjust the volume or something. Takaya. It's his end. Okay, so we're going to keep adding people to the stream.
Can you hear me?
And mute it. Oh, okay, you're back. Yeah, I can hear you now.
No,
bring back Nathan. Bring back Nathan.
That was Nathan.
Yeah, bring him back.
He's here.
I can hear you now.
That's good. Yeah, I was saying I'm cool, man. I'm enjoying the time.
So Nathan, apologies the hard cash, baby.
Say that again?
Apologies or resources returned. Apology or reparations. Apology or reparations. Is an apology enough for you there? Is an apology enough?
No, definitely not. Reparations. But at the same time, I feel like the whole approach to reparations is very idealistic and not very realistic for a number of reasons. I feel like, let's say 5 of us are in the room. We're all different countries. As a team, if someone even utters the word that they're going to pay reparations, the other 4 of us are going to we're gonna be fuming with whoever agrees to such a thing, and it's just going to cause a domino effect and pressure everyone. So I don't feel like the moment someone even utters, the 4 of those other countries, for example, will kind of come in and make sure that just never happens. I'd love it to happen. I think of so many ways how we could try and make it be implemented, but yeah, it will definitely take a lot of work, even with regards to who actually gets this sort of funding. From what I can see, can you guys hear me? From what I can see, with regards to certain companies that are being set up and so forth, I feel like, how do I explain? It's like I was looking at even the Black Lives Matter movement in the UK, and just looking at their page. I'm not seeing any owners for this project. Yeah. I'm not seeing no website, and I'm seeing that they've raised £1 million already. Yeah, to me, what they're promoting with what they're doing doesn't really coincide. I'm not talking about the American one as well, just strictly the UK one. There was a UK Black Lives Matter group on Instagram. Like I said, they've raised £1 million. They're trying to raise another 20,000 for artistic stuff to do with the LGBT community. But like I said, there's no names for these organizations. So I just feel like a lot of people will try to exploit the whole situation, and that money won't go in the right places. It just won't go in the right place. It won't get to me and you, put it that way. So yeah, that's my kind of take. I could talk a lot more, but I'll leave it there. I'll just leave it with how I've put it. But yeah, I don't really see light at the end of the tunnel with reparations.
Okay, that's your take on it, and I'm going to give you some feedback. I think that there needs to be repatriation first. Yeah, I think it's silly for us to get money from them to spend back in their country. It's stupid, if you ask me.
That's
right.
You
should repatriate, then do repatriations. And there is a way in which it can happen. You don't have to send it to governments. There can be, bodies and systems put into place. Not everybody is even into. I went on a TV show once in the UK, and not everybody is pro reparations that's black.
And
let's not forget
reparations for what as well, because there's a lot of people who
I'll give you an example.
There's a lot of people who have invented stuff, and slave traders have taken the rights to people's intellectual properties and stuff. Reparations for that. There's so much things that we would need reparations for. How do we approach it all? It just kind of trickles on.
It's the first step. Everything. Listen, how did the Native Indians get it? How did the Japanese get it? How did they get it in Nagasaki? How did they get it after World War II? At the end of the day, people get systems that work. We can do this. We invented nearly everything that there is on the planet. I'm certain that we can work this out. And if we start, somewhere.
Definitely.
Nathan, listen, good to see you. I'm gonna call tomorrow.
No problem. Yeah,
I'm gonna call you because you know that you can go and get money now, right? Lloyd's, Lloyd's agreed to pay up. So if I was you, don't worry about the little detail. Just go and get your
All right, cool.
Yeah, going to the bank tomorrow and going to the till and say, I'm here for my reparations.
We'll
And
see
it's
what
not the
happens.
bank, by the way, it's the insurance company. It's the bank. Okay, let me read the link to
Talk
you.
together.
Because they were trying to separate themselves before, so that'll be interesting. Okay, let's put up the next person. Nath, I'm gonna love you and leave you.
No problem.
Bye, cuz. Yeah, take it easy. And thanks for contributing on Blacksit, man. Thanks for the support. Big love. That's my cousin there, Nathan. Yeah, yeah. Same dad. Yeah, it's on my dad's side. So,
Hi, Blacksit family. Hi, Blacksit. It's good to talk to you again from Kansas City, Missouri. It's so good to see you again. And I'm proud of what you're doing. I'm proud of, yes. I'm doing, well, I could be doing better, but I've had 2 flights canceled on me because of the coronavirus. My last flight was just canceled this month again. I was supposed to leave on the 29th of June, and I had a flight out of New York to Morocco, and Morocco hadn't opened up yet, and they had set my flight up knowing that it was closed. It's okay. But I'm finding the situation with us leaving is a little bit interesting from the American side. And what I see is happening is they're finding ways to manipulate the governments over in Africa to keep their ports closed to Black Americans who are flying over from America to Africa. It seems like there's a deliberate plan that has been set out to inhibit us from getting to the land in every way. Now, I have been to Africa 3 times, and in my lifetime, I was there. My last visit was in 2010, so I was trying to make it back for my 10th year anniversary. But every corner that I've turned, my last turn is I'm going to call the embassy, because I need to find out why. And I really believe America is lying to the embassies over in Africa. They're lying to, it seems like they set out something to the flight merchants not to allow or say that their ports are closed, or that we have coronavirus here in America is so bad and so many of us are dying that they have caused the ports to other countries not to allow the Blacks, okay, to fly out of America. There is a deliberate plot going on right now to inhibit us from leaving. I've never had this much trouble flying overseas. All the 3 times I've flown, 3 times I've flown, I've never gone through so much lies and deception. And now here we are again. Certain countries in Africa have opened up to allow us to come in. Guys, I'm sitting in my car, so y'all have to excuse me. To come in to their countries, but they're not allowing flights to come into Gambia or Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria. And I am really, really concerned about that. So if you guys can go talk to the embassies and find out and get to the bottom of this, it is a deceptive lie. Once again, it is a deceptive lie about us in America being the carriers of this corona. I'm from a family of probably 600 tribal people, and none of us have contacted or died from this coronavirus that they're saying. None of us. So it is a lie that they are perpetrating about the American people. And as far as reparations being paid to us as a people, family, we need to get out of America. And if we're going to do anything as far as reparations or them repaying us for our ancestors, how much is a life is worth? How much is your life worth? They cannot pay us for what they've done to us. The mental damage, the physical damage of history and all, they cannot repay us, but they can give us finances that will help finance us to come back home and to get home and to set up ourselves, and also, guys, not to go back and take advantage of our home, but to go back and help ourselves and our families. We want to go back and build Africa, not leave Africa in the colonialism. We want to help build Africa. My intentions ever since I was a young girl was to go back and help the people. I am a holistic health nurse. I am a planter of the land, of the soil, family. I healed myself of cancer. I've healed myself of all sickness and disease. Okay. I had breast cancer. Yeah. And I knew that if I went to the doctor, they was going to just take my breast off. That's all they did. And most of the people who of color who they said had cancer never had cancer. But because we trusted our slave masters, we listened to them, and we went through their chemistries and all their chemos and killed most of our people. Everything these people tell us about their medicines and about what's wrong with us has been a lie. You cannot believe your slave masters who have now become your doctor. Family, we have got to get out of America. It is not going to be good. It's going to be a second plague that they're going to pandemic, and I'm going to tell you why. Being a nurse, please hear me. You cannot walk around with face masks on, inside, outside, upside, downside. You are blocking off your greenery, your chlorophyll, that your breath of life that's coming from the green outside, okay? You have to have hemoglobin getting into the alveoli that's in your lungs that cause your lungs to breathe. If you destroy those alveoli in your lungs, family, guess what? You die. Bottom line. And when you wear a face mask, guess what you're breathing in? Carbon monoxide, because you breathe in life-giving prana and you breathe out carbon monoxide. And you're breathing all that constantly flowing back in your nose from your mouth. Guess where it's going, family? It's clogging up your alveoli in your lung, because the oxygen that takes the red blood cells to your lung is not getting there, and you're going to what? Die from lack of oxygen to the alveoli. Yes, there is going to be another pandemic, and they're going to be saying, putting them on ventilators. Ventilators ain't going to help. People didn't need ventilators. Once you destroy alveoli in your lungs, family, guess what? They're not like your cells. They do not rejuvenate. And you die. So guess what? They want us here to be their, their little monkeys for their shots. In America, you are set up for destruction, people of my family of America, if you don't get out of here. And if and you know what? Reparations, financial stability from this country, whatever they want to do, whatever they want to give it to us, they need to give it now. That stimulus package was a joke. That was a joke. They could have gave each family $10,000 each, and they still wouldn't have been enough. These devils need to come clean, and I am saying I do not consent to anything that they're planning. I do not consent to anything that they're planning, their rituals, their evil intentions, looks, or even watching this show to what they're planning against my people. I do not consent. Family, we do not consent against anything that they're doing. And we have to say, I do not consent. And you need to get out of this country. I love America. This is where I was born. This is where I was raised, but I don't like what the country that's been setting up control by these draconians. Call them whatever you want. I'm calling them draconians, because all they want to do is kill us, and that's it. I'm going to get off here. Black Sid, you're beautiful. Your family's amazing. I appreciate your time on your show. Keep going, girl. keep spreading the news. But Black Sis, please get the people together and go up to these embassies and find out what the heck is going on and tell them to open up those ports, because we're coming in. Listen, guys, it's Egypt time to go now.
Yeah.
It's Egypt time to go now. It's time to get out of this land. They have nothing good for us. And they are telling, listen to this, one more thing and I'm out of here. They're telling us, oh, I just heard this from my niece. Oh, the children don't have to get their passport. As long as you have yours, they can get on the plane. Don't buy their lies. Family, don't you buy their lies. You get those babies' passports too. It's better to have them. It's better to have it and not need it than to not have it and need it. I got that from a Jewish Holocaust survivor, okay? You all beautiful people. You young people, listen. Black Sis, I love what you are doing and others who are doing it from Gambia. I love the young lady that I don't know where she went to, but that young sister, I want her information. Listen, I got so many people contacting me wanting to fly over to Africa with me. Guys, I can't carry this load. I can't. I'll take them. I don't have the finances. I just do not have the finances. I got women with children begging me.
Just
let them.
We're working on a plan. Call me, okay?
Okay, sister. Okay, I'm gonna get off of here and let you young people carry this load.
We're working on a plan.
You're amazing. I love you. I will be there. Black Sis, I'm coming home to help my family come home. I'm coming home to help my family come home and help the people of the land. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hey, Jonathan. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, thank you, sister.
You come in.
Thanks for your contributions still. Yeah, seeing these institutions panicking now.
Yeah, go say.
They're talking about reparations because they see that we live in. You know? Because they see us leaving, they want to now hand out trinkets to try and keep us in the West. You know? We're going.
Come on, sir.
They better know that we're coming home. Black people had enough. We can't live with them no more. Yeah, no more illusion of inclusion. We want that no more. So yes, black people, get yourself together. Get ready, you know? Get ready so we come out of them places, man. They should be sending back ships for us. At least 9 miles of ships they should be sending to get us back out of the West. You know, they don't want us there. And they still want to be pretending, you know? But yes, my family, just keep up the fight. Keep fighting. Come home, come be your own kind, you know? Come get your body recharged with the melanin. I'm home, I'm happy, I'm free. I'm mortgage free, I'm debt free. You know, and you all could do it too. We all can do it. Yes, we can. You know, that's our slogan. Yes, we can. You know, we can do it. We don't need the West. You know, Africa is what we need now. We are Africans, and if we can't build our own continent, who else gonna do it? Who else gonna do it? You know, we can't build our own continent. We can't live peacefully with no one in their continent. So what are we gonna do? How much longer are we gonna stop? We're gonna be stuck in the West. People, come home. We got work to do. You know, come home.
Oh, Pirate Brain. No.
Hey, how you doing, Julia?
I have to.
How you guys doing?
So, Pirate Brain. Mr. Pirate Brain.
Yeah, you can call me David. That's my channel.
Can you hear me?
Brother Pirate.
Yes, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Good.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I can't wait to get back home too. You know, I've been trying to get in touch with you. I'm ready to get some land and get out of here. It's you know, I would love to get reparations. And to that question that you were asking, I think if we're going to talk about reparations, we all need to get on code and ask for financial reparations. None of this college money to Black-owned colleges, none of this prosperity zones, all this. Cut the check, put it in my bank account, $10,000 and above, and I can get out. You know, I prefer $500,000. You know, I can go back, I'll get out, I'll kiss this land goodbye and just walk away. You know, but that's all we can do. We can't fight. We don't have the weapons right now to fight them. And I just think if we all get back and we can change the mindset of a lot of the African nations, they will stop dealing with these people and kick these people out of their land. These white folks, these Chinese folks, they need to go. I mean, I'm sorry. They're in there and they're not treating our people right. So they need to go. They're coming in there promising jobs. And then when they get there, they sneak their own people in to do the work and don't hire the African people. Enough is enough. You know, it's just enough is enough. These people will never, ever do right by us. And we don't need them around us. And you know, another thing they know, Juliet, they know that if we leave the United States, let's not even just say United States. If we leave United States, if we leave Britain, if we leave France, all of the countries we're in, I don't want to leave anybody out. If we leave them, they will fall because they are parasites. And once you take the parasite off of the host, it dies. You know, we don't have to do anything but separate from them, and their own demise will happen. We don't have to do anything, you know? And so I'm all for leaving. There's nothing else to do, you know? And I'm not Christian, but for the Christian, I do understand the Bible. For the Christian people, this is the Exodus that they were talking about in the Bible. It's happening right now, and it's going on now. We just got to figure out our way to get out of here, you know? And as you know, this is what I'm working on now. And I hope everybody else in the family can do it and has the foresight to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I had to say. I saw you on here, and I just wanted to get on here and tell you that I'm with you all, and I'm talking to people, and I'm spreading the word, and I hope they get it. And some people in our own families are not going to get it, and we just have to bid them farewell and let them do what they do. You know, everybody's not going to be able to come or want to come. You know, and it's kind of sad because it's going to get bad. I mean, to me, what we're seeing right now is what happened in 1939 when Hitler was taking control of the German government. A lot of people didn't want to leave. They should have left. And then at the last moment, they couldn't leave. I just hope we haven't got to that moment yet here, you know. But anyway, I'll leave you with that. Thank you for letting me on. I really appreciate it. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
You know, what do you think, Age?
Hey, Black, so what's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, while he's waiting, can I give my little 2 cents?
Just jump in.
Go get your 2 cents in.
Okay. Look, I don't
Yeah.
need anything from them. Nothing. Their apologies are they're
Yeah.
as fake as a $3 bill. It's nothing. It's nothing. It means nothing. They've given it to us a lot of times. They promised us reparations before.
I wanted to say that I agree with you. Not everybody's.
Hey, Black.
Go get your 2 cents in.
So our 40 acres and a mule that we were
Not everybody
promised before,
should come.
we
As you
never
know,
got
there's
that.
going to be a disinformation campaign, and there's going to be a discredit campaign.
They promised us reparations before.
I wanted to say campaign against Africa and Africans, and in fact, it started already.
Yeah, and that's what always
never,
happens.
ever, allow us to come without interference. We know this. We've seen it before with the Black Panthers. We lost Martin Luther King. We lost Malcolm X. We lost many Panthers, the Roots. We've had so many fights over time. So the internet is a little bit slow. So just bear with us. What I'm saying is that when you hear a lot of negative things about it, it's not where country, but ask yourself why. Okay. Maxine.
I see none.
Who's pointless on?
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Still hear them. You have to mute them.
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay. I can't quite hear Juliet.
Yeah, I think they're having a few issues with their stream right now. So
It's confirming to.
Yeah.
Tell him to come off, please.
Cuff,
Come off the internet now, please.
come on for a minute, please, Cuff.
Not a minute, just come off. Go to bed. I'll make sure he comes off. Can you come off the internet?
Cuff, right? Thanks, because we can't get on.
It's slowing down the internet. Set all your devices off.
Right, what's it?
Okay. So we had a little lag, but it seems like you've muted. So do you want to unmute? Illicit Spirit,
Hello,
do you want to unmute?
Can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
Well, I can hear you.
It's a bit of a lag.
She's gone, we've lost her. Okay.
Yeah, so
We'll bring on.
I can hear you, sister, but you're coming in a little low.
Right, I'm really close to my iPad right now, so I don't know what's going on. It must be the connection on the other side. But yeah, my contribution is obviously there's been a lot of you know, the situation right now has really escalated things, especially where I am right now, and I would really like to come home. But my problem is the fact that I'm tied into a leasehold contract where I am, and it's a little bit complicated. I mean, I recently had an altercation with my neighbors.
1 second, everyone.
Joseph.
Can I continue?
No, it's going to come. It's speeding up, I can see it.
Hello?
That's really okay.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so recently I had an altercation with my neighbor where they were really I just felt ganged up on because they all just seemed to be on my case generally. I mean, I always
Nadu.
Is he here? Can you hear us?
Yes, I am.
I'm
Like, I'm doing okay. How's everyone going?
there seems to be some kind of cross communication going on.
Yeah, let's wait till Juliet, I guess, gets there.
I think there might be a lag on their end.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a miscommunication going on in between.
We can now. Hi,
Are you guys good?
Chima.
Okay, sorry. All right, my name is Chimadu. I'm a Nigerian who's born in Austin, raised in Baltimore. So here's here's one thing I've always told, I always told to my brothers and sisters here in the diaspora, find a base somewhere in Africa, because
go ahead.
Oh, can you guys not hear me? Can y'all not hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
So
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Can you hear us?
Well, I can hear you now. So yeah, so find a place in Africa, because let's be honest. These people
go ahead. Go ahead.
What the hell? I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. So, is there a way we can reset it without?
Let me try to. Okay, let me try to reset. Let me see if that makes a difference.
It will come off. We can come back on.
I'm mute, Steve. Let me see if he can hear me, because he could hear me before. Maybe it's just Chima.
But you can hear me, right?
Can you hear me, Steve? Steve, can you hear me? Lisa, I can hear you. Yeah. So, Chima.
Let me try to get back on. Maybe it's my connection.
Lisa, where are you from? Yeah, we're here. Go ahead. Reparations, hon. So, apology or reparations? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Mute. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you say something? Oh,
I
okay.
can hear
Now
you.
I can hear you. How are you? Now I can't. Maybe I need to get on my computer instead of my phone. You can hear me all right? Hello? Hello? I think my connection is terrible. Let me try. Can you guys can hear me all right? Hmm.
Okay. I've been told to only have one person at a time because the feed is degrading. So,
Oh, okay. There we are. I can hear you now.
cut it and put. Yeah, cut it and put one person in at a time. That's what we've been told. So kick everybody else up for a minute, and you'll have to come back in one at a time. That's it.
Okay.
No, isn't it? There's too many people. That's why the internet is degrading. That's
Whatever talk about the BAM community. The BAM community.
We're gonna ask you
What was that?
to come back in.
I can hear you better now.
Stephen was clear. Kick
There
her
it
out.
is. Can hear you better now.
I can hear you, sis.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, let me know when you want me to go.
No, Maxine, please.
Yeah, I think their feed is a bit unstable, so you may want to just go ahead, I guess.
Just go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not sure where you guys were before I got on, but being the subject, reparations, I think that definitely we an apology is not enough, number one. But I think that there was something that my dad had mentioned to me about possible reparations that were supposedly given or supposedly extended to the Black community in America. There's my dad. Through the passing of a bill, and the bill is called House Joint Resolution 1245. I'm not sure if you've heard of that. And basically, it was passed in December of 2017, and it came into effect in around like the early part of January.
Okay, so what we've had to do is yeah, that's better. We got quality back again. So what we had to do is to take you out of the
Take me out?
stream in order to get the internet back again, because it's a bit slow. And it's degrading because there's too many people in the stream.
Okay, you want me to go out and then come back in?
Go for it, go to bed, hon. So what we're doing now is we're going to try and reboot the stream. So I hope you're hearing us.
Okay.
We're going to try and reboot. We're going to try and reboot.
Sounds good. I'll just
So
leave it.
that you can come back on. We're going to try again to see if we can bring you on. But if we don't succeed, then we'll call it a night and we'll try and see if we can reconverge on this conversation, because
Okay.
I know you had a lot to say. So I'm going to come and see if you can rejoin the stream now.
Okay. You want me to just press leave?
So I think we're going to bring in Deliverance and then Steve. Go ahead, sir. That's what. Like the internet, it's usually quite reliable. I don't know why this is happening tonight. It's late. I understand that you're not really hearing me, so we're gonna call it a night. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's contributed. I appreciate it. Benedict Perkins said, UK taxpayers pay slave owners millions in compensation for loss of property. I'm going to try and put it on the screen so you can all see it. Just bear with me because there's a lag. Nanny Marine, hello. Taking its time. So we'll come on the screen in a sec. But yeah, I just wanted to say that we should never give up for fighting. And we mustn't forget it. It's an IOU that has never been collected. Yeah, they owe us. They owe us. That's nothing to do with it. It's the principle. And the principle is this. My ancestors didn't die for nothing. They were paid nothing. They were killed for nothing. You know? Deliverance, I want to see if we can bring you back on. But just wait till we can try and stabilize the internet. Yeah? So, you know, hopefully I'd like to hear some information from Deliverance because she had some great information. Yeah. So we're going to try. Age, where's the lamp on? I don't know why you all took my thing. My camera light. Is it here? Look on my desk. So let's keep trying. Let's see if Deliverance. No. So we're losing connectivity. We might as well end the stream. So I just want to say thank you all. I think we should.
Sorry.
Deliverance is back.
Sorry. We can do it. We can just link me in on the next one. We can do it another day. It's you've been on here putting out, and it's late. No,
So great.
Just link me in on the next one. We can do it another day. It's you've been on here. Can you hear? Can you hear what she's saying? I can't. It's kind of breaking up anyway.
No worries. But thank you anyway. We'll come back. We'll revisit this. We'll revisit this. We'll revisit this because there's a bit of a lag. So I just wanted to say good. Yeah, I want to say good night. And oh, they said they can hear you. They say they can hear you perfectly
Okay.
well, so just talk.
All right. So I was mentioning that the House Joint Resolution 1245, and it was basically enacted by by Congress in 2017, and it was to commemorate the 400 years of.
They're saying.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Okay. See you later.
Who, me? Oh, I thought she was leaving. Yes, to commemorate the 400 years of slavery of African Americans, they said, to the English colonies. And basically, it put forth some things that Congress would be responsible to do by passing the bill. And in Section 5 of the House Joint Resolution, it talked about basically giving grants, and the way that they wrote it was very slick because it made you think that it was just so that they could commemorate and acknowledge and educate and, you know, all this whimsical stuff, and basically make us feel comfortable that they're acknowledging our pain or whatever. But when you really just put it into layman's terms, it talks about giving grants to nonprofit organizations, to educational organizations, to state municipalities, to scholarly systems, or, you know, schools and things like that, in order to further the commemoration of the transatlantic slave trade. It just said the slave trade for the colonies of England, I think it says. I'm trying to bring up the actual wording right here. My computer's a little slow, but just to put it in a nutshell, it said that in Section 5, America said that the Congress, that they passed the bill in order to give grants to these different entities and for the educational purposes. Now, if you were just to be creative with that, you could take it and be like, okay, well, you know, a lot of African American people, a lot of African people from England and, you know, wherever that are living in America, they want to know about the slave trade. They want to go visit these places from where they were taken and understand the journey that our ancestors went through. And we don't have enough money to do it. And that could have been and could be, but there's a very short window of time, could be a point of reparations, because it says that they will give grants to nonprofit organizations for the further commemoration of that. Now, what if you had a group of Africans that are living in America that want to go visit Gambia and the place that our ancestors were taken from Gambia to wherever? What if we wanted to take that trip and get some reparations? You know what I'm saying? Like, to put in an application for a grant for those funds. Now, you probably wouldn't want to do it under Blacksit, because then they know what we're trying to do, trying to get the heck out. But you might want to put it under a different nonprofit organization that could use those funds and pool that money together and get some land in Gambia. Sure, we'll take a trip. Sure, we'll go over to the, you know, the areas where we can get educated and see where we came from and how our people are living there now that never did get taken. We'll do it. We'll use some of that money for re-education, but we can use some of that money for reparations and take it and repatriate and buy land. So, but the point that I wanted to make is I hope that people can go and look at the House Joint Resolution. It's very simply written. Some of their bills that they write are very convoluted. They're confusing as heck. And, you know, you have to sometimes you have to have like a history in having read law, or just you have to be twisted minded like they are sometimes to understand what they've written. But Section 5 plainly says that they're giving grants to non-profit organizations, education organizations, and I think that they really wanted to act as if, okay, they knew that they had to give us something, but they didn't really want us to take it. They didn't really want to give it to us, so they put it into a form that we would not recognize that it was reparations, and that it could have been reparations. So they said, oh, we're just doing this, we're writing this bill, and there's a certain amount of money that was allotted to that bill. You know, as it is, it's a bill. Somebody's putting the money up for it. But there's money allotted to that bill where we could have taken that money and used that, and that could have been reparations. But I think that they didn't really want us to recognize it as that. Now,
Right.
the commission,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
the commission closes July 1st, 2020, which means that the money that they said, oh, it's all this money available for you to take, and we have grants and we have this and that. Well, the commission will expire that day and it will close. Basically, they will stop reviewing. I believe. I have to read a little bit more, but I know for sure that when the commission closes, it means that everything that was given out as far as money or aid or whatever was given out, that their review of it will be over. So my guess is at that point where their review of it is over, then also the extension of the funds or the grants would be over as well, because they wouldn't have anything, they wouldn't have anyone to review whatever funds have been given out about it. But yeah, we didn't know anything about it. And even those that knew about it, like myself, and that did read it, it was written so convoluted and inconspicuous that I didn't even recognize it as, this is an attempt to tell us that we'll give you some money. But now, and they wanted us to not know, and they wanted us to not grab onto it so that they could say, hey, we offered it to you. You didn't, but where were you? You didn't take it. And my dad pointed out something to me that was very like, duh. What occurred after House Joint Resolution and right around the same time, a whole bunch of things that the media, and of course in cahoots with the government, probably also some Jewish people, but they just threw out all of these misogynistic, emotional distractions for Black people to pay attention to.
That's right.
So that we would not pay attention to the fact that we had a possible avenue for some reparations, because I don't think that in the House Joint Resolution, I don't think it would have paid for enough of what we're entitled to. But it was a lot of money. But anyway, they started showing us about, yep, the deadline is July 1st, 2020. They started showing us about, Black people getting killed, and, just a series of it. Then you had Wakanda, and you had people getting excited about the movie, The Black Panther. And then after that, you had people seeing again, just more people of ours getting killed in the streets. And there was just there was a systematic level of distraction that was going on. Then you had COVID-19, then you had more killing, and now you have protests, and now we're right near the end of the deadline, and no one knew about it. And it was like a master working, plan. If we put this in their face, they'll be emotional enough to ignore it, or they'll be they'll be so, you know, fixed on the injustice that they won't look into, you know, the House Joint Resolution. And one of my dad's friends, he said that he believes that a lot of the COVID money that are going to these Caucasian people, these Caucasian families, well, I mean, you know, some Black people are getting it too, but that a lot of Caucasian people are getting that money. And he believes that that was some of the money that we should have gotten from the House Joint Resolution, and that since we didn't take it, they tapped into it and they've used it and created a new bill and dispersed our reparations under this, what do you call it? A pandemic, you said. What do you call it? A fake?
It's a fake pandemic. It's concocted. Now, you know,
this is my dad.
The thing, hi Juliet. You know, the thing that is interesting about that reparations money,
what's that guy's name?
There is the number 12. This is what they do here with money, and America is what they're doing over in Israel. They're not telling us that all of that land, it belongs to them. They erected area, they call it Trump Heights. It's near the land that belongs to our ancestors. Our ancestors, they knew no separation between Africa and that place that they're calling Israel. That's not Israel. That's actually Canaan. All Black people were there. So they knew that 400 years we would be dispersed and scattered, counting from 1619. Now, slavery was further back than that. They also knew that all of these Africans have 12 patriarchs. Christianity has tried to steal that heritage. Judaism has tried to steal that heritage. But that's our family, those patriarchs, and they are connected in Gambia, Nigeria, all over the world. But now the diaspora over here has a heavy Christian influence, just like where you're from, Juliet. There's a heavy Christian influence. And along with that Christian influence, there's this fascination with so-called Judaism. So you have people who know about these 12 patriarchs, and they know about the reparations that was supposed to be coming to us. See, this is reparations. It's connected to the slave trade, but it was spoken long before the slave trade. Any nation that holds us has to let us go, and they have to let us go with wealth. They have to let us go with wealth. They can't let us go and have us trying to get out on our own, trying to struggle with pennies. Now, what America does, and the United Kingdom does it too, or the divided kingdom and divided states of America, you know, what they do is they take prophecy and they assimilate it into their law so that they can ease their conscience about continuing to defraud us. They gave everyone here a $1,200 stimulus check. $1,200 for each tribe of the children of Israel. That is our money. And they've given it to poor white people. I don't call them white, you know, but oh yeah, poor white people, Juliet. Poor Caucasian people. They've given our money to everyone because they don't want to do what is going to happen to them when they let us go. They're going to be bankrupt, and they know it. We have been their wealth. We have been their substance. We have been their life. And we have been surety for their fake money. So if they can have documentation, because see, they respect paper. We're spiritual people. We don't need paper. We're just into this paper thing because everywhere on the face of the earth, people have been colonized into Eurocentric English, which really extends from Rome. Everyone is under that pagan paper persuasion. So they take and they put things on document, and to them, if they can put it on document, then that's all of the evidence they need. That's all of the responsibility to truth they need. And they can whip you with paper and fake laws that continue to give them the power to defraud you and take your life and make you a contract unto them. So they know they have to let us go, but they'll do everything they can to keep from doing it. And so that's what this stimulus check is. The stimulus check is our money. They owe us. They don't owe anybody anything, and they don't owe, and we don't owe them anything. But they owe us. Every other people that have come over into America, they've paid them. They've given them our money. They even gave reparations to the slave traders. Like they were talking about before. They reparate everyone, and you guys know how they do. So what we want to do is see if there's some kind of way that we can get in on this, whip something up quick. We're going to put something together as quick as we can, because in this house, we go for what is ours. And I thank you for reserving our lots. I wanted to tell you that. Thank you. We're going to pay for them lots. We're going to get all the paperwork as soon as you and Deliverance get together on what's happening with that. You know, we can talk about that another time, but we got to change here for them lots right now. So you just make sure, however that paperwork, what's Deliverance getting ready to do? I guess she's getting ready to,
You got that change for that lot right now.
Girl, you crazy. Anyway, but we want to make sure that we have something in place that we can go to them about, and that we can say and we can put before them, because I'm telling you, sister and brother there, and you know, Adrian, if this is going to be posted live and it's going to be saved, I'm ready to go on the porch, the steps of City Hall, and tell them, you got to leave our people alone. You got to let us go. And you know, you got to let us go. And we don't need no passports. We didn't have passports to come over here. We don't need anything. And I hear everything Adrian says, and it's like Julietta just goes in my heart. It's like he went in my heart and pulled everything out of me. We do not owe anyone anything, and they need to pay for our repatriation, and then they need to continue to empty themselves while we're here, because the tab is off the chain. It's overdue. Now, ancestors died without nothing from these people. So we want to see how we can get into making that happen, and we wanted to let you know about it. And if someone is a grant writer in the Black Sea Community Center, you know, maybe you could give them the information, and we could keep this in our circle, and we could whip up something fast. Because it's clear that they are trying to give the impression that they want to do the right thing. But once they have put it down on paper, then we can hold them to it. Now, I know they are Indian givers and they never, you know, they try to wiggle out of everything. But this is new. This is 2017. And like Deliverance was saying, they've created distraction after distraction. So we would stay ignorant over here and be caught up in everything and not know that they have a so-called deadline.
Yeah.
Then, you know, and see the spirit of what's happening with our people now. No respect for their kangaroo courts. You know, I'm not here being violent. I'm not going out. As a matter of fact, I haven't been to one protest. But here's the spirit of our people now. No respect for your kangaroo courts. No fear or obligation to honor your phony contracts. And independently stepping into our authority to live, not right to live, not right to live. See, when they say you have a right to this and a right to that, it's under the confines of their imprisonment. It's under the confines of how they enslave people. So we're not coming saying we have a right to this, we have a right to that, and we're asking you to do anything. No, they are showing themselves to be the greatest thieves, the greatest terrorists, the greatest murderers, and the most fearful people on the planet. So all we have to do is go along with any narrative that they create, because it'll lead them back to what they owe us. Everything, the courts, the laws in their courts speak of our integrity. The Constitution was written from the document that is a section of our history. That book that they done scribbled on there, the Bible and all that crap and all that Christian stuff and all that, that's the history of the so-called Black man. That is the man who was first on this earth. It's not a religious book. They have taken it and they made it a religious book and they're selling it. And the same people that are making millions of dollars publicating those books, they publish them. These are the same people that own the porno industry. They're the same people that own the slut newspaper industry. And you got these names like Schofield, Zondervan, Nelson, Thompson. These are slave traders. And they are making money off of our history. And they are making us ignorant religious pagans. And I know all about it because I grew up in the Christian church. I was an ordained minister. I know all about it. All of my family, my uncles and granduncles, they are ministers. And we have never gotten what is owed us, and everything that we are as substance has been stolen from us. And so it's time now for us to do what you're doing and what other people are doing. I see Black Acres of Gambia. I see all of these. It's time for us to, wherever we are, stand up and then watch the universe bring us together. Bringing us together. And we just need this kind of encouragement. Every time you and Adrian are on there talking and running your miles and stuff and go, oh man, it's just a shot in the arm. I want to go out on the street and pull up my microphone and my generator and start preaching.
He'll do it too.
Because our people, we, Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. See?
Yeah, my grandmother just had a fall. So he's gonna run out there. But yeah, what he said. And I actually would like to know if someone in this community is willing or up to it, a grant writer, somebody who could whip something up that could be submitted to the Congress before or just before July 1st. And if they decide, and we could also submit a request for extension because of COVID-19. They've been extending all kinds of things because of COVID-19. So at least if we got something in saying, hey, look, we need a grant. We need a grant to be able to fund a project, an educational project, a development program that would allow Black people to understand their passage from Gambia to the Americas, and we need to take a trip to Gambia. We need this. We need $50,000. I think this thing is. I mean, we could ask for way more than that. I'm quite sure, but especially I think this resolution is untapped, or at least by us, it's grossly undertapped, and I think we could do it. But I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not. I have had some legal writing, but I'm not like seasoned in it, and I know somebody else could probably be a lot faster than me. I'm kind of a contemplative writer, so I'm quite slow. But I'm just going to read section 5. It's only like 2 sentences. It says, this is the House Joint Resolution. It's House Joint Resolution 1245-115th Congress. So you have to add 115th Congress to get to the right resolution. But it says the commission of the Congress, they must plan programs to acknowledge the impact of slavery and laws that enforce racial discrimination, or that enforced racial discrimination had on the United States. Encourage civic, patriotic, historical, educational, artistic, religious, and economic organizations to organize and participate in anniversary activities. Assist states, localities, and nonprofit organizations to further the commemoration. And coordinate for public scholarly research on the arrival of Africans in the United States and their contributions to this country. And then the last thing it says is the commission may provide grants to communities and nonprofit organizations for the development of programs, travel programs, maybe, grants to research and scholarly organizations to research, publish, and distribute information relating to the arrival of Africans, and technical assistance to states, localities, and nonprofit organizations to further the commemoration. So if a community, you don't even have to be a nonprofit, but if a community wanted to, exactly, thank you, my precious. I will ask for the extension. Yes, definitely. If a community wanted just to commemorate the passage from Gambia to America by going back to Gambia and taking a trip, then the community could submit a request for a grant and have that trip for the whole community paid. And I bet that you could also include in there enough funds to be able to acquire land for a community, to create a community in Gambia. And for those folks that had that educational trip going back and forth, if they wanted to buy land, then they could buy land. So I'm just thinking, you know, I'm trying to have some creative thinking, and I'm hoping that somehow, with all of the information, maybe somebody in this circle, somebody's, because we could do it collectively, could come up with something, whip it up real quick, and get it in there. I'll probably be up late tonight. It's late tonight for you already, but it's not late tonight for me yet. But I'll probably be up late tonight just throwing some ideas together and doing a draft of some sort. But yeah, if there's anybody out there that's interested in collaborating on something or savvy, because the other thing we could do is, even if we did get a grant, we could transfer some of that money into the work that you're doing there, Juliet. And because from day one you've always been about us, not you yourself, but us as a whole, and pulling us to, hey, come, we need you to come, let's build a community. So I'm thinking like it could be big. It could be pretty big. I don't know. Your thoughts? What do you think? Hi, we must ask for reparations, $14 trillion to be given. Yeah, go ahead. Your thoughts. What'd you say? Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a lag. Is she okay? Okay. I see a signing off. Looks like.
Oh, it's done?
I think she might be closing it out.
It's good. Oh, you told her what happened. What happened?
All right.